Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to 5th grade social studies. My name is Mr. Herring. I'll be your tour guide today. Today is August 31st, 2020, and we are continuing our unit on U.S. geography. Today we are going to concentrate on the physical features of the U.S. So, physical features, our essential question. What are the physical features of the U.S.? And today I will learn what the physical features of the United States are, and I will be able to locate them on a map. So what are the major physical features of the U.S.? We have about 12 that we really focus on. These are not the only physical features, but these are the most important physical features. We have the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, the Great Lakes, and we will talk more about the Great Lakes later and actually learning the names of the 5 Great Lakes. We have the Gulf Coastal Plains, which I know you learned about in 4th grade, the Missouri River, the Mississippi River, the Rio Grande River, again, which you learned about in 4th grade, the Great Plains, again, you learned about in 4th grade, the Appalachian Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, and Sierra Nevada, okay, mountain range. So these are the most important physical features that we learn about in 5th grade U.S. geography. So, the United States is located on the continent of North America. It is the world's third largest country. Russia is the largest. Canada is the second largest. The United States is bordered on the west by the world's largest ocean, the Pacific Ocean. On the east, it is bordered by the world's second largest ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. The southeast is bordered by the Gulf of Mexico. Imagine riding in a space shuttle and looking down at the United States. You would immediately see huge mountain ranges that run from north to south. In the western part of North America, the Rocky Mountains stretch about 3,000 miles from New Mexico to Alaska. The Rockies are the largest mountain range in North America. The Appalachian Mountains are the second largest mountain range in the United States. The Appalachian Mountains stretch about 1,600 miles across the eastern United States, from the St. Lawrence River to Alabama. The Sierra Nevada mountain range is in the far western part of the United States. Is about 400 miles long. The Sierra Nevada includes Mount Whitney, the tallest peak in the United States outside of Alaska and Hawaii. While observing Earth from space, you would also see acres covered by huge plains. The largest of these areas is the Great Plains. The Great Plains stretch all the way from Canada to Texas. At one time, they were a huge natural grassland where buffalo roamed. Today, farmers in the Great Plains grow much of the world's wheat. The other large area of flat land is the Gulf Coastal Plain in the southeast. This land sometimes experiences flooding. The floods bring rich soil down from the mountains, making the land ideal for farming. One of the most striking features of the United States is its system of mighty rivers and lakes. These waterways have provided routes for ships and power for industry. In this way, they have helped the United States to become a wealthy nation. The largest river in the United States is the Mississippi River. The Mississippi has its source in Minnesota and runs 2,350 miles before emptying into the Gulf of Mexico. Two of its largest tributaries are the Ohio River and the Missouri River. Another key river in the eastern United States is the St. Lawrence River. It flows from one of the Great Lakes, Lake Ontario, into the Atlantic Ocean. The St. Lawrence forms part of the border between the United States and Canada. In the south, much of the border between the United States and Mexico is formed by the Rio Grande, Spanish for large river. Finally, the Columbia River is the largest river on the west coast of the United States. It forms part of the border between the states of Oregon and Washington. The Columbia empties into the Pacific Ocean near Portland, Oregon. So looking at this map here, this is a physical map which shows all of the great physical features of the United States. You'll notice over here we have the Pacific Ocean. Here, there's that humongous mountain range, the Rocky Mountains, and then the Sierra Nevada mountain range with a smaller one to its west. And then notice this is the outline of Texas. Texas also has a Great Plains area. All of this area here is Great Plains, even down to here. We have the Gulf Coastal Plain, which is named after the plains that are close to the Gulf Coast. We have the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, here is the Rio Grande River. And this large mountain range, the Appalachian Mountains, the Atlantic Ocean. Up here you see the 5 Great Lakes, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, and Lake Erie. They make up the 5 Great Lakes. And this long river here is the Mississippi River, which empties into the Mississippi Delta. And then the Missouri River is over here running through the Great Plains. Okay? So these are the most important physical features in the United States. So now I'm going to let you watch a little video. It's about 9 minutes long. It's a little YouTube video that features the physical features of the United States. Once you're done watching it, go ahead and come back and finish the slideshow. Okay? All right, welcome back. Moving forward, now that you've watched the video didn't show all of the physical features, but it did highlight some of the most important features like the plains and the mountain ranges and the bodies of water. So let's look at labeling a blank map. This will be part of your assignment for today. So let's practice. First, our first physical feature is the Pacific Ocean, way over here to the west. Next, we have the Atlantic Ocean, way over here to our east. I always start with the waterways because for me they're the most easiest. I know where all my water is. Then we have the Gulf of Mexico, the 3 largest bodies of water surrounding the United States. Following that, we have the 5 Great Lakes up here around the Michigan area. Then we have the Gulf Coastal Plain, which is on the Gulf Coast of Texas, extending into Louisiana. We have the Missouri River, which is way up here in the state of, close to the state of Missouri. It runs all the way down into those areas. We have the Mississippi River, which is a very mighty river that runs almost the length of the North America, almost all of the United States, and it empties into Louisiana down here. And of course, we have the Rio Grande River, which is the border between Texas and Mexico. We have the Great Plains, kind of in the middle of Texas here. We have the Appalachian Mountains, which are over there on the east coast. We have the Rocky Mountains, which are towards the west. And then Sierra Nevada mountain range, which is the furthest west. All right. And these are our 12 most important dominant physical features of the U.S. So, physical features. The United States is a very large country with a great variety of physical features that set one apart from others. Though we have discussed only 12 or so, it is important to know that others may exist. If you feel the need to go back and watch the video to see the physical features again before you start your assignment, feel free to do so. I will tell you that the assignment is just like what we just did. You'll be given a blank map with all the physical features labeled with letters, and then you'll be asked to identify them by matching the letter with its name. Okay? Good luck. If you have any questions, come and see us. Have a great afternoon. See you tomorrow, guys.